This week is about words. And here's the truth that doesn't get talked about enough. Most of what builds your life or breaks your life, it doesn't happen in any dramatic event. It happens in the words that are used. Day after day, at the dinner table, on the drive home, on the phone with your mom, late at night with the spouse, or first thing in the morning when you're talking to yourself in the bathroom. Those words all add up, and they add up to almost everything. And most people pay no attention to them at all. There's a piece of scripture out of the book of James, chapter 3, and James talking about the tongue. And he says, it's a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. And then he gives a couple examples. He says, like a small spark sets the whole forest on fire, or a teeny bit in a horse's mouth can turn that large animal. Even a small rudder on the back of a ship can turn it completely and change its direction. The tongue is small, and what it sets in motion is huge. You don't have to be a person of faith to understand what that all means. Anybody who's been married for more than a week knows it. Anybody who's raised a kid knows it. Anybody who's been on the receiving end of a single bad sentence at exactly that wrong moment, they know it. Words land, they stick, and they shape what happens next. I want to tell you a story about 3 words that saved my life. Back when I was living in Wisconsin, small town Wisconsin, I had a neighbor named Al. One morning, I was outside and I went to talk to my neighbor Al. Al looked at me and said, "You're looking green." That was it. 3 words. He didn't have a speech. He didn't deliver a sermon on my health. He just told me what he saw. Here's the thing. I was in EMT school at the time. I thought I knew what was going on with my own body. Yeah, I wasn't feeling right, but I figured I was just hyperventilating. I had a perfectly reasonable explanation all lined up, and I almost didn't listen to Al. But those 3 words, they worked their way into my stubborn brain. I went to the hospital and it turned out my heart was in bad shape, and they ended up air evacuating me up into Madison, Wisconsin, where they did heart surgery. That surgery, it probably saved my life. It also ended my flying career and put me through a long fight back to getting in decent shape. I had all kinds of medical issues after that. I'm not telling you that story for sympathy. I'm telling you because Al didn't know. Al wasn't writing a sermon. He wasn't trying to change my life. Al just had 3 words, and he cared enough to say them. You don't always know which sentence is going to be the one. You don't always know which 3 words are going to land. You just have to keep speaking the kind words that build. And eventually, when somebody needs them, those words will be there. This week, we're going to break down this topic. Tomorrow, we'll talk about specific patterns of words that build, what they sound like, where they come from. Then Wednesday, we'll go do it a little bit harder one, words that break, things that damage people, the patterns that we slip into without even noticing. Then Thursday, we're going to go deep inside. The most important conversation in your life, it's the one you're having with yourself. Then Friday, we'll wrap it up with that long view, the legacy of words, because long after you're gone, people will be quoting back what you said to them. But for today, do one simple thing. Pay attention to the words coming out of your mouth. That's it. Just notice what you're saying. Don't try to fix it. Just notice what you're saying and how it lands. Pay attention at work. Pay attention with your kids, with your spouse, the lady at the checkout lane, even with yourself in the bathroom mirror. Most of us go through the entire day on autopilot with our mouths. Just notice today. We'll do something with that tomorrow. One last thing. Think about that person who's been the Al in your life. Somebody whose words got in the door at exactly that right moment. Put their name in the comments. Sometimes saying thank you publicly builds a better relationship. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.